Happy New Year, Leo. Welcome to your Teen RuneScope with me. My name is Amanda. Please do check out the video for your rising sign as well. If you know it, that can give you some more information of other areas that you'll be dealing with in teen. Of course, the only way to get a reading only for you is to schedule one with me. I do those on Skype. It's $5 for a 3-minute session. Just drop me a line at the email address in this video or below this video if you would like to set up an appointment with me. Please do be patient. It can take a few days for me to get back to you if there are a number of people in front of you in the line, so to speak. And the new year can be a really good time to get a reading because, these are very general. So it's a blueprint, but in a private reading, I can connect with your energy specifically and, and your guides and see how these specific energies are going to play out for you and only you. And not the thousands of other lions that are watching this. So also wanted to mention, I am thinking about offering an online rune class in 2018. It will most likely start in February, and it will be how to use runes for divination. So if that's something that you would be interested in checking out, just drop me a line at the same email address and let me know that you would like details on that if I decide to do it. And if I can figure out how to do it. I'm still kind of hammering out the details, but if you're already contacting me to schedule a consultation, just mention in the email you'd like to also be added to the information to the email list to get information about the rune class, and I will make that available to you as soon as I figure out the particulars. But let's jump in here, teen Leo. I did also want to just take a moment to thank all of you for liking, subscribing, and sharing videos, and some regulars. A special wink to you guys. You know who you are. Thank you so much for supporting me and for letting me read for you. So what I've done here is we're going to be doing the first 6 months. We're through with the runes and then I through with the tarot because the tarot wanted to go second. They just indicated that to me. So I've already shuffled the tarot, laid those out, and cast the runes in the essence of saving time, as these are already pretty lengthy readings. So let's dive in, Leo, without further ado, and see what's coming up. The first 6 months for you, it seems like you're trying to move forward. There's a goal, something that you are trying to achieve, but it may be a little bit slow going. You'd be encountering difficulties with other people. Or they just be blocked energies. Or maybe it's people you were depending on, counting on, and they're just not coming through for you. They're not helping you. You feel kind of alone, like your pride. Your lion pride has, they're out wandering around. Here you are trying to get dinner, and where did everyone go? So this would be a work situation. It may be, in your home. Maybe, you as a family, everybody was trying to accomplish something, or you and your partner were trying to accomplish something, and it just seems like maybe they left the building or their focus is on something else. And meanwhile, you're still like honed in on, I want to achieve this goal. And for some of you, if this is a work situation, it's probably that you have a deadline and, you have to complete this by a certain date. Or maybe it's your own deadline. Maybe you're just like, I want to be out of this job by, or, I want to be moving on to something else. I want to be going after this personal goal that I have and out of, get rid of this other stuff. And I feel like you just feel like you're not getting any help or communication from other people. I feel like you will address it. I mean, you will be like, hey, yo, you ever going to show up? Or where's that information you were supposed to get from me? Or, why haven't you fixed this yet? Or why haven't you completed this yet? Or why haven't you called those people yet? And I feel like the communication you'll get back will just be very kind of or just very non-committal or very, or maybe somebody, if you email, will take a long time to get back to you. A way around that, Leo, just with the, just to kind of let you know how to work with these energies. None of this is set in stone. You can always change this stuff if you don't like it by handling it in a different way. Don't deal with emails. You only talk to people directly. And then they can't hem and haw about, or they can't not answer your email for days and days. That's the thing with emails and text messages. People can answer it whenever they want on their timetable, not yours. Whereas if you're talking to them face to face, they're going to have to give you an answer, or, they're going to look really dumb. So yeah, that'd be a way to handle this. Leo, in any case, I see that you are going to reach your goal, particularly if this is a financial one. you know, you are going to make this deadline or be able to make this happen. Somebody, be him and Han, are not getting back to you because they're feeling under the weather. So maybe they're ill, or maybe they're just drained or tired. You know, and I feel like they will communicate that to you. It seemed like an excuse, but I do feel like this person's being honest with you. One person in particular, the guy, there's a masculine energy coming up around this that just be like, oh, there's something wrong with me, you know? Or, you know, maybe they really did catch something, a bug or something. So that puts you behind. And it looks like, you know, if nobody else will be willing to step up if this is a work situation, or maybe nobody can replace this person. So you end up having to do it, Leo, taking on extra work. But I mean, that will enable you to reach your deadline or achieve your goal. Help that's going to be available to you is that you have a lot of spiritual protection around you, particularly in the first 6 months. And you may be calling on that just because, you know, maybe you are feeling drained, Leo, maybe you are feeling under the weather, or like you're going to have, maybe after you complete whatever this is, you just are it really takes it out of you and you're going to have to take a break. Maybe this is just a job in general, Leo, that you're sick of and you're wanting to get out of, but you can't quite do it yet, but you got your eye on something else. Those of you who are looking, I mean, there is a job offer possible before the end of it anyway. These energies can overlap though, again, because there's so many of you out there watching. Some of this happen in the second half of the year for some of you, and vice versa for others of you. So anything I say in this reading can happen at any point during the year, but for most of you, this is looking like mainly the first part of the year. So, yeah, I mean, I do think there's a new beginning available career-wise here, Leo. So there could be a completion and then a job offer coming in for you. Now, for some of you, it could be that maybe this is who's holding up maybe you're waiting to hear back from a job as the year begins, and you're waiting to hear back, you know, if the interview went well, if they liked you, or maybe you're waiting to hear back to set up an interview, or, you know, to complete testing, because a lot of jobs have testing and things like that to complete. Some of you are maybe wanting to go back to school, but you feel like you can't right now. Maybe money is the issue. Maybe you are tired of school. Maybe you've completed your bachelor's and now you're trying to decide if you're going to go back and get your master's or get a PhD. Some of you maybe you're deciding if you're going to take a certification. And I think that with this protection around you, if you ask for a sign, Leo, you'll get it. You know, and just be very specific when you ask your questions. You know, if I should do this, send me a sign that I will understand. So, and they will send it in a way that, you know, you can't avoid it. You know, you can't not get it, so to speak. So, but no, there are new beginnings in the offing. This is also a fertility room. So for those of you who have been trying to get pregnant, you know, what I'm getting from this, you got 2 fertility rooms. And this one is, you know, definitely means you achieving that new beginnings, new life, new relationships, if you would like that. Or it could be in the offing, the first 6 months. But then we have this down here with the birth rune coming up in this position means that it could be blocked, and it's coming up next to the rune of family. So for some of you, you decide that you want to get pregnant in the first part of teen, but then you'd be having a little bit of trouble doing that. Maybe some of you, this is a pregnancy scare, or maybe some of you think you're pregnant, and then you know there'll be a miscarriage. I'm sorry to say, but. Normally, I mean, you know, if a child is supposed to be born, the child will be born. Miscarriages are almost like, okay, I'm in here, but I forgot something. And so the soul goes out and then it's like, I'll come back later because I forgot to turn off the stove. I forgot, you know, I mean, I forgot to turn off the light, you know, they forgot to do something, or maybe they're just like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Because Because I do feel like there's a certain window of time where a soul has time to, maybe they decide now that they're in the physical, they want to tweak something. They're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that bit. I don't know if I want and they will come back later if they're supposed to come in. So just know if that is the way this works out, Leo, in the first 6 months, the soul is most likely going to come back in at some point. If you're meant to be its parent, there's really no way to stop it. Those of you who do not want to be parents, if you already have children, or if you've just decided it's not for you, use birth control, particularly the first 6 months, because with these 2 fertility runes, even though I see that some of you be encountering difficulties with that, or you maybe have to seek out fertility advice, there's still, for those of you who do not want it, there's still a risk that, it might happen. Because it's crazy how it works out that those who don't want it to happen, it will happen. And those who really, really want it, can't make it happen no matter what. Sometimes it does seem that way, doesn't it? So whichever camp you're in, heed the advice here. What can't be changed the first 6 months is that there may be just frustration and delays around moving, property renovations, real estate. For some of you, this may have to do with probate, with an inheritance. There'll be conflict in the family over that. I feel like it's more of just blockage in the family. So maybe trying to block you from something that's rightfully yours. And I with this rune in the reverse, it's like if you go in and just, after what's yours and in a kind of a take no prisoners way, it's going to backfire on you. So the advice here is probably, I would say, to lawyer up. Maybe you were trying to put that off, and you were trying to avoid that with this rune. This is the rune of the lawyer. It was coming up as blocked here. But I mean, it may be that, that's just the best way to handle it. It could be that it's blocked because members of the family are not speaking. Nobody's communicating. Nobody's talking about these things. Nobody's even discussing a new beginning. Nobody's discussing the real issue. Everybody's dancing around the real issues and dressing them up as something else that have no relevance whatsoever to what the real issue is. So, but I do see you getting an offer, getting what is yours, getting money that's owed to you. For some of you, this is the job offer that if you were looking to leave an old job, again, you will be successful in doing that. And there's a new beginning in the offing. I feel like for a lot of you, this new beginning, this creation, may be either a business you create, a creative project of yours, or a new job. For those of you that it's not, you trying to get pregnant. But yeah, just watch out for the property stuff and the family stuff. There'll be blockages when it comes to renovations or real estate or issues with inheritance. We'll see how things play out the rest of the year here. But this financial reward, financial offer could also be that this, resolves itself, but only if you don't kind of come in and be demanding or commanding. Which, Leo, is your normal kind of approach. It's like, hey, this is mine, give it. That's anyone's normal approach. But yeah, it seems like it won't work for whatever reason because of who's opposing you in this situation. So just keep that in mind. You have to fight your initial instinct in that. Second part of the year, there's a lot of swords coming up, which tells me that there's a lot of a lot of analytical thinking. So those of you who are thinking about going back to school, it's very possible that you do go back in the fall because there's a lot of problem solving. Some of you may just be applying analytics to your own life and solving problems within your own life. Dealing in truth, receiving truth. But let's see what more specifics we can get here. Okay, well, there's a situation. Your challenge is that some may have gotten a victory by sneaking around, being dishonest. So, I mean, this could be you, or it could be someone else. But there was a victory, or what this person anyway viewed as a victory. However, this is short-lived. It's like this person won the battle, but they didn't win the war. So for some of you, this would be going back to this probate issue or this real estate issue. Who Whoever this is, though, they feel justified. They feel like they, deserve this, whatever it was. But the cost has been too great for all involved. So, and we're talking about the second half of the year here, Leo. So yeah, definitely avoid being sneaky. Because yes, it win you the battle, but the cost, you'll be karmically responsible for that. And you don't want that karma. Because whatever this is, this win comes at a great cost to other people, but it's not monetary. This is an emotional cost. So yeah, let's go back to this example. Let's say that, someone's passed away, and this is someone that you cared about very deeply, Leo, and they left you a brooch or a piece of jewelry that's really not worth much, but it has a lot of sentimental value. It's something that, this person always wore, and they left it to you as, and it's something close to your heart. And this other person, they get all the jewelry. And even though maybe that was left to you, they sneakily act like it got lost. They lie and say, oh, it just got lost. I don't know where I put that. Or it wasn't there or something. And it's almost, they do this just because they know that you want it. Because again, it's not, it's not monetarily valuable. It's sentimentally valuable to this person. And that's just an example. It's not going to be the same way for all of you. So just know that if this happens to you, Leo, you get the object in the end. You get it later. It may turn up mysteriously. Or, and I kind of feel like for a lot of you that's what will work out. Whatever you feel you lose in this, you'll end up getting it in the end, but not if you're the sneaky one and you take it that way, you're going to lose it in the end, whatever this is. So just keep that in mind, Leo. Make sure that you're always on the side of right. And sometimes it can be tempting to, it can be tempting to start a conflict to get what we want, but it doesn't always pay off that way. The Wheel of Fortune is in the second, and in the upright means that the wheel is turning. It's turning upward. So that means good luck, forces for renewal. And a lot of this will be around a King of Cups. So this is normally a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer man. This is normally somebody who's very artistic, who can be a poet, a writer, a musician, an artist. So for those of you who are single and looking, this could be somebody who becomes very important to you. You meet him and maybe you felt like your love life has been kind of blah lately, Leo, and then, you meet this person and suddenly things are a little bit brighter here. This is with the Wheel of Fortune, it's a karmic relationship. So this is somebody that you've known, in past lives. So there will be a strong attraction here. Water and fire don't normally work together, but sometimes we have to be with our opposite to really, learn things about ourselves that we would never learn if we were with someone more similar to us. With the Four of Wands, you meet this person at a wedding or at an event, at a birth announcement or a reunion or a party, because the Four of Wands is about family coming together, celebrations. It's the celebration normally because it's wands of the beginning, the beginnings of something, beginning actions of something. If this guy is already in your life at the beginning of Teen Leo, maybe it's you planning a wedding. Maybe this is your wedding. And, this may be something that, is taking up a lot of your time. And maybe it actually happens in the second part, or maybe you start talking about planning in the second part. Again, it'll be different for all of you. But whoever this is, he's completely different from the people you usually go for. And remember, the King of Cups, that can also be Queen of Cups for you guys that are watching this, you straight guys. These energies can always be interchangeable, just to let you know. But there's somebody coming into your life, or if he's already in your life, Leo, he's transforming your life, but in a good way. And this does not have to be romantic, but I feel like for most of you it is. If not, this could be a boss, this could be a business partner, just somebody who really helps you. Also have the King of Cups coming up. I'm sorry, the King of Pentacles. This is normally an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. And I mean, he's normally the banker, the money man. So, now Leo, some of you be dealing with two men, and one of them, you'd be bored with one of them. So you have a relationship going on that's just become kind of humdrum and boring to you. Or this may be someone in your life who is getting married, and you know, you go to the wedding and you meet this King of Pentacles. But with this is the card of boredom, emotional boredom. And you know, I really like this about you, but if you only had a little more of this, we would really get along like peas and carrots. So, and I have to say that I'm tempted to say for most of you, it's this King of Pentacles guy. Because, I mean, earth signs are very practical. They're very good about, you know, they're very good with money, normally very financially stable, and very good and conscientious about money. Leos like to spend money. So if you're with an earth sign Leo, they're constantly going to be like, oh God, I can't believe you bought that. I mean, if you want it, you just get it. But the earth sign's going to be like, oh God, we can't afford that right now. Why would you go out and do that? And maybe you're being nagged by somebody about financial stuff and you're just getting tired of it. Or maybe it's him that's like, you know what? We never go anywhere. We never leave the house. I'm so bored. So yeah, there is with this card, there can be somebody feeling like they're confined or imprisoned, or, you know, God, we need to get out of here. And I think, Leo, that more suits you than the King of Pentacles. Earth signs tend to be more homebodies in general, not always, but so yeah, Leo, if you are in a relationship and things are, you know, stable, but kind of maybe if the fire has gone out, you may be tempted to go another way. And for those of you who are single, it could be that you're just choosing between two guys and you find the King of Pentacles just a little bit too stable for you, a little bit too conservative for you. You need somebody with a little more fire or passion. And the King of Cups could be that for you. He'll offer you that. They are definitely, water signs can be very passionate as well. And there's a lot of depth to them emotionally. But that'd be where misunderstandings come in with that pairing. Yeah, water signs are not real forthcoming with what's going on with them. So you'd be guessing a lot and they confuse you. But yeah, I just see you, it's like with the wish card in reverse, it's like you get what you want, but it's not what you thought it would be. Or you have what you want emotionally, but maybe you've worked so hard for it or had to wait so long for it. Now you're just not sure if you even want it anymore. So it's kind of like that ironic card. I call this the ironic card in reverse. It's like, oh, here I've worked and slaved and I've wanted someone just like you and now I get you and I'm bored stiff. So something doesn't quite meet expectations, I think, Leo, but at least you have options. Help that's going to be available to you is that I think that you are going to be dealing with somebody, and this kind of goes back to this, somebody who's seeing things in a more traditional way, and that's actually helpful to you because, I mean, you are, or somebody who's maybe pretending to be very traditional, and Leo, sometimes maybe this is you. Maybe you're pretending to be very traditional when underneath the surface, I mean, you know, Leos are anything but traditional. But maybe you've kind of pretended this way to get with this person, this King of Pentacles. And, you know, it did work for you, but now you're like, I don't know if I want to be in this. But the help here is that with the Tower card reversed, what that means is illusions stay in place. So if you have presented yourself as somebody who is very conservative to win someone, that you're going to be able to pull that off. But I mean, you're not being honest with yourself, and eventually our true selves always come out. Or maybe somebody did this to you. And the benefit is that, you know, anybody who has been pretending to be something that they are not, Eventually it's going to come out. So either this does come out or, and you can then deal with it and move on from someone who's not what you thought they were, or you can stop pretending that you're something you're not. Sorry about that. Leo had to stop and take some stuff off the memory card to continue. But as I was saying, it could be that somebody that has just gotten into a situation with somebody who is, it's stuffy or very conservative and restricting or restrictive. May feel like they made a mistake. But this is coming up in the health position. So, I mean, if this is you, that you feel like maybe you rushed into something, maybe you rushed into taking a job with a company that's very conservative, or maybe their values aren't the same as yours. Or maybe you rushed into a relationship with somebody who's more conservative and your values are just too different. It looks like you can get out of this with help, or be a process. So I mean, this could be a divorce, but I mean, the Hierophant is coming up in the upright. So it could be that before maybe this is somebody else, maybe your child or somebody, your son who's engaged and realizes that this is not, he's having to pretend to be someone he's not, and he doesn't know if he's going to go. He thinks he wants to get out of this engagement or marriage. A lot of partnership and marriage issues in the second half of the year, Leo. And, if it's not you, it's somebody close to you that's grappling with these issues. It'll be different for everyone. For some of you, it will be you. For others, it will be someone close to you, so that it is affecting you. What can't be changed is that there is some kind of new beginning that makes you feel like your cup is overflowing, that your cup is filled. And this comes from news from the Knight of Swords, or it have to do with the Knight of Swords. This is normally an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. He's presenting as a knight, so this could be somebody significantly younger than you, in his 20s or early 30s. Maybe your son, could be the same person that this was talking about if this is not your mate. But for some of you, if this is your age group, or you be dating someone younger than you, or you have, you meet someone who is very different from who you would normally date. And for some of you, it would be through your work. So this would be a client or a coworker. But there could be a new beginning. Actually, fire and air are normally pretty compatible. So you balance each other out in a good way. They can be a bit more analytical sometimes, or a bit more practical than fire signs. Again, kind of this, they're a little bit similar in those traits with the earth signs, but they're not as stubborn in their viewpoints generally. They're air, so they can flow a little bit more freely with their energy and viewpoints. And for some of you, this could just be a job opportunity, that you get news that you're going to get the job that you want with the Eight of Pentacles, or that you got into the school that you want. For those of you who are looking to continue your education and go back in the fall of you get news that somebody's either going to help you, or you figure out how to get the money to do what you need to do. Some of you be teaching. Because this, with the Eight of Pentacles, you're really, you're a master at your craft. And so you could be learning a new trade, or learning how to do something that really, it satisfies you, whatever this is, emotionally as well as financially. So, but for those of you that it's not a job, this is most likely someone, yet another person on the scene. So now we have a third guy showing up and maybe showing some interest in you single Leos, or not so single Leos, as the case be. By the end of the year, the Emperor is coming up. Now, the Emperor can be your father, or it can just be somebody, can be the boss, the leader in the family, the head of the family. He does represent the sign of Aries, but, does not have to be limited to that. But this is just somebody who has a lot of wisdom. This would be the father of your children, whether or not you're still with this person, Leo. You seek advice from this person, because he's coming up in the upright. So even if maybe you start off or maybe if it's not always been easy going with him, or maybe if there's been conflict before, it seems like there's a new understanding by the end of it. But you'd be discussing the children, you'd be talking about issues with them. You'd be, somebody be wanting to get out of something. And I got the Page of Rods coming up in the reverse. This is normally another fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, but coming up in the reversed, this is somebody who is not following through on promises, not delivering, not, doing what they said they would do. So kind of going back, it's kind of like a full circle from the beginning of the year where somebody was not, you were waiting on these people and you weren't able to finish whatever you were doing. This could be your child because it is coming up as a page. So this could be somebody who is, you're just concerned about them. Maybe you feel like they're not making the best decisions. They're getting into trouble. They're acting out. This doesn't have to be your child or a child. It could just be somebody who's acting immature, acting like a child, essentially, trying to get out of commitments, trying to get out of things that they promised that they would help you with. At the end of the year, I do see conflict around whatever partnership you've got going on, Leo. And I feel like this is going to be the result of external pressure from other people. It's like a mock battle with the Five of Wands, or again, a sense of competitiveness over money or financial things. With the Justice card reversed, you feel like this person has treated you unfairly. This could have something to do with financial things. Maybe they spent money on something that you didn't agree on, or maybe they made a big purchase and didn't consult you about it, or maybe they used their salary for something that you didn't want them to use it for. If this isn't your relationship, it could be somebody around you, Leo, who is, again, got marriage coming up, a partnership that you don't approve of and other people in the family don't approve of. However, this person, they seem pretty determined to do this. And there could be an inclination to kind of just try to fight any inclination to stifle someone, Leo. And that's really not your general way of doing things. But I mean, I feel like that the more you kind of maybe try to hold on to someone at the end of the year, the more it's going to make them want to escape or get away or feel trapped or confined, like they can't move. And it doesn't have to be your partner. This could be a child. This could be somebody making you feel this way. And with the Devil card, I mean, that's the sex, drugs, and rock and roll card. So somebody using sex to control a situation, or using, drugs to kind of numb their mind and not deal with issues. This may also be somebody who says hurtful things when they are under the influence. With the King of Swords reversed, again, this could be an air sign. So it could be that you're planning to marry somebody, or you're engaged, or you're living with somebody, and you're seeing a side of them that you didn't know was there, Leo, by the end of the year. And I think this is coming out, again, to help you avert something. Anything that's hidden, I feel like somebody will be able to maintain the lie for a while and pretend to be something they're not, but it will come out in the end. And if a foolish decision has been made or is about to be made, I feel like you'll be able to get away from it. You'll be able to correct it or avert it or help someone do that. So I think that's the general message I'm getting about the end of the year. Again, these partnership issues don't have to be you. That's going to be a theme for you too. But I feel like, that you'd be concerned about someone close to you. But yeah, anything that has been built on lies or falsities will not stand through all of you. By the end, you'd be dealing with, deciding how to handle it, deciding what to do, or helping someone else decide how to handle it or what to do, how to rectify the situation. So that is what I see, Leo. Sorry about that little interruption in the middle again. I do hope it's a wonderful year for you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing to videos. And I'll see you back here next month in February.